Hey, good morning, folks. In a recent video, I showed how you could use an app script so that you could email a associate or a boss an updated version of a dashboard that is updated on a regular basis using AppScript and automating it with a trigger so that it would be emailed every morning. But there's another way to do this, and it might even give you a little bit more flexibility. So in this case, what we're doing is building a custom URL. Let's take a look at what this looks like. So first of all, if we focus in here a little bit, here's our, let me just zoom in a little bit. Here's our URL of this sheet. And notice it ends with edit, and we're on gid equal 0. So before we move any further, let's switch to the dashboard version. And now you'll see that we have this URL, edit, /edit, and we have our gid is equal to this. So what I've done over here is, first of all, I just want to grab this gid. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And let me zoom back out, go to my sheet 1. And I've already put this in here, but I'm going to just show you in this case, I'm putting this gid in here. That's the GID of this sheet. And then what I'm doing is here I've copied the URL. If you look up here, I've copied everything up to edit. So you can see 6GS, and I've copied all that, including the trailing slash. So that's sort of the identifier for the sheet. And then I want to convert that. I want to get rid of the edit, and I want to add this part. This part is a way to automatically get the sheet to export the format equal PDF. So export ? format equal PDF. And in this case, I'm also wanting to do the gid, the sheet identifier. So the gid is equal to this. And then I would like this to download in landscape mode. So I've added this function, and portrait equals false. So what I've done here then is I've just concatenated all those things together. I've concatenated J2 and K2 and L2 and M2. And I can go ahead and zoom out. And I've created a URL now. When I click that URL, it basically downloads the sheet, that particular sheet. Notice it doesn't have the other information. It is in landscape mode, and it is a downloaded PDF. And I can add a few other things. There's a few other things we could add in here. Let me go ahead and demonstrate that. I'll go ahead and quit my preview. Before I add, let's see, I can add, let me show you how to add a couple of other features to this. So here are some of the parameters that you could use to add and make a change. Let's see what it looks like if we just build a URL equal to, let's go ahead and do, this is equal to this and this. Let's just see what we get. Well, no, let's add one other thing because we want that gid in there. And let's add the gid. Otherwise, we'll get the full sheet. So let's go ahead and do that. And hit enter. What happens if we build this example? And what do we get? We get that. It does fit on one page. But it's not in, it's in portrait mode. Okay, so that's what we get if we do that. So then we just grab the gid. You know, let's go ahead and take this and see what happens if we get rid of that. Let's go ahead and try that just to show you. If we build it this way, I think we're going to get all of the data on sheet 1. Looks like it's taken it some time to build. Here it pops open, and then sure enough, if we do it that way, you can see there's 24 pages in our sheet, which is not what we want. So yeah, that's why we want to build this, and we want to add in the GID. So we're going to add in the GID, and let's see what happens if we add all this. We want it to be portrait, and we want the print title to be true, and we want the sheet names on it. And just for good measure, let's go ahead and add the margins. What we're doing there is changing the margins. Go ahead and hit enter, and let's see what the difference is. You can see how we built this URL. So it's the URL with the google.com spreadsheet /d/ and then there's my ID of the spreadsheet itself, then / and we change the /edit to export, format equals PDF, and then we're including the GID, the portrait mode, print title, and so forth. Well, let's see what it looks like. Let's go ahead and open that one up. And this URL then is, the point of all this is that this URL could just be emailed, or it could be put somewhere on the sheet like I have here. Now notice I added the sheet name, the actual title of the sheet, the sheet name, and it is now landscape mode. I guess it looks like my margins have changed. And there might be a few other parameters you could add, but those are sort of the main ones. I find it a little bit easier to maybe have this available typed out this way, so then I could just build this URL. Now this URL I could put anywhere on the sheet. Let me go ahead and copy. One thing I could do is take this and go ahead and copy that. And let's say I wanted to come back over here to my dashboard sheet, and somewhere up in here, I wanted to have a way to put in a sheet. So we're going to do a hyperlink, HY. Let's get into our hyperlink here, and then we'll do we need to surround it in quotes, so we'll paste in that hyperlink that we just created. It's a pretty big long one. We're not seeing the whole thing there. We're going to do that, and then comma, let's go ahead and put in print to PDF and do that. So now we have, well, let's see, let's edit that, because we got to drag this down there. We didn't put a space in there. That would look better. Go ahead and do that. So now I have print to PDF, and I can just right on the page itself create the PDF just like you see there with all that information we have on it. So it's a handy way to, and I believe, let's go ahead and do this. Let me copy this URL. Let me copy this whole URL that we have here. It'd be the HTTPS. We'll copy all of that. I have one trailing and there, but it doesn't seem to break it. And let's say I wanted to mail that to somebody. So I'm going to just mail that to myself. Go ahead and mail that, URL, and go ahead and let's get rid of that trailing. See if we can turn that into, I think maybe that would turn it into a URL. Let's go ahead and send that. So let's see what happens if we mail that to ourselves and then come back here and take a look at it. And if I click that, yep, sure enough. So one of the nice things is I could just email my boss, have him save the email, and then at any point in time he can download the information and be able to view it right there. And it looks to me like he can print it right from that PDF at any time. I hope that's helpful. It's a, let's head back here. Get back over here. It's a way to, build your URL to be able to share just one sheet of a spreadsheet with a colleague.